What makes a team coming off of a championship a year ago fire their head coach? What makes the New York Liberty that just won a WNBA championship a year ago has the same pieces essentially that won them that championship? What makes them not only lose in the first round of the playoffs, but what makes them fire Sandy Brondello? If I said your last name wrong, I apologize. There's a lot of factors why a team would do this. The number one factor is expectation and noise. There's a reason why I made it a point to say that this team, the New York Liberty, won the championship last year. Just to lose in the playoffs, I think the first round or second round this year. When you have future Hall of Famers on this team, when you have an all-time great when we talk about accomplishments in Breonna Stewart, when you have one of the best young guards in the league in Sabrina Descu, when you have one of the best 3-and-D players in Natasha Cloud, when you have the Finals MVP in Jonquel Jones, you're expected to at least look like you did a year ago. I'm not saying you have to win because they did win a hard-fought series against the Lynx, but you can't lose in the second round. And if we're being quite honest, it wasn't even close. They got embarrassed in the second round to the Phoenix Mercury. A good team, but a smaller team than the New York Liberty. And they're in New York. But the expectation is, okay, you just brought the team's first championship, like in team history, and we retained our players. Something's got to give. That's one. Two, I don't know if you've noticed, but it's been a very loud season for the New York Liberty in all the worst ways. Whether you talk about injuries, whether you talk about press conferences that hasn't gone well, whether you talk about bad losses. I said this before, just maybe not on this podcast, but somebody asked me why the New York Liberty looked like the way that they did. Why the New York Liberty didn't look as dominant as they did before. And the answer is very simple. The New York Liberty is the definition of a top-heavy team. When you have Breonna Stewart, when you have Jonquel Jones, when you have Sabrina Descu, when you have Natasha Cloud, those are your four best players. And while they have players on the roster, in fact, let me look at their roster. When they have good, decent players, like they have, what's that lady's name? The shooter. Phoebich. Outside of that, they don't really. I know Emma Meeseman came from overseas, but she didn't really make no impact like that. When you're top heavy, your top players have to play great. I know I go back to this a lot, but it's a perfect example of this. The reason why the Golden State Warriors with Steph, Clay, Dre, and KD worked so well, because that was an extremely top-heavy team. Their four best players played well, played to the best of their ability. This year, Jonquel Jones was out the lineup due to injury. Breonna Stewart was in and out the lineup due to injury. Sabrina Descu was inconsistent, especially defensively and offensively. because there was more on her plate. Natasha Cloud was playing great, but played great defensively, but wasn't hitting shots. None of that is on the coach. But all of that is on the coach when you have to make a decision on do we want to bring her back or not. Because we have to put the blame somewhere on how we didn't at least make it out the second round of a playoffs the year after winning a championship. Do I think that Sandy should have been fired? No. I think Sandy Brondello was a pretty good coach. But it was also telling when at the end, and I think the reporter asked Sabrina Nadescu and Brianna Stewart if Sally Brondello should be back, and they were like, yeah, what the, like, why would you ask me that? Like, of course I'm going to ask that, bro. The contract's up. The biggest reason why she got fired is because expectations were set pretty high after last year. And the fact of essentially the team that you had last year that had an incredible run in the playoffs, that it obviously essentially got them a championship, is essentially the same core that you had this year, and you didn't make it out the second round. And it's not just the fact that you didn't make it out, it's the fact that you got bullied that series. And when obviously there were times when they looked great, the Liberty during the season, but then there were also times, and a lot of times, where they didn't look great, where they got destroyed. One time I can think they lost to the Connecticut Sun by like 20. So I don't think it's a tough visual firing a coach that brought you a championship just the year before, your franchise's first championship just the year before. That's a tough scene, but hey, that's how it is. So we'll see where their head coach or who they pick next. But I don't know. Because what does this do for now someone like Stewie, someone like Sabrina Nadescu, whose contracts are up? So, I don't know. But we'll see.
Oh, man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.